You probably already know that college admissions officers are the ones deciding whether or not to accept you. But at some point, you may wonder, besides good grades and maybe test scores, what are they really looking for? Hey, it's Bo, your niche school counselor, and today I am going to talk about the 6 key things that college admissions officers look for when they're evaluating your applications and deciding if they should accept you. Whether you're applying next year or in 4 years, it's crucial to know what they're looking for so you can set yourself up for success. So let's get started. One of the key things that all colleges will look at is your transcript. Like a formalized report card, a transcript is an official form that tracks every single class that you took throughout high school. It usually has a key on the bottom that shows any AP, pre-AP, IB, dual enrollment, or on-level courses that you may have taken throughout high school, and it will also have a breakdown of your grades. I've seen numerous transcripts in all of my years as a high school counselor, and the grade breakdown is usually the place where this will vary based on where you go to school. Some schools might use letter grades, while other schools will use number grades, and some schools will even rank students, while other schools don't do rankings. Make sure to look at your school-specific grading scale point system to fully understand it. When admissions officers have your transcript in front of them, what are they really looking for? They want to see if you could thrive in a more rigorous educational environment, and they also want to see your performance in high school because typically that's a good indicator of your general readiness for college level classes. Plus, it could also showcase your strengths and your weaknesses. To begin evaluating all of this, the first thing that colleges typically look at on your transcript is your GPA, your grade point average. Your GPA is just basically a cumulative average of all of the points that you've obtained in your classes. It can get really confusing at times though because there are unweighted GPAs and weighted GPAs, and often some schools will factor certain classes into your weighted GPA while other classes might not count in your weighted GPA. You want to really read through the GPA section in your high school course catalog closely to figure out how your school does this. Depending on which grade you're in, there also still might be time to boost your GPA. Consider taking challenging courses. Colleges appreciate students who tackle tough classes and excel in them. They like to see that you're putting in the effort and not just taking the easy route. So choose your high school classes wisely. Find out where your strengths lie and really push yourself to try more advanced classes in those subjects. And obviously, focus on all of your grades because your GPA and your high school classes are usually the first thing that college admissions officers will check out closely. Now, test scores are a little tricky to talk about because many colleges no longer require the SAT or ACT for admissions, and some have outright stated that they won't even look at test scores that are submitted. Because testing policies vary from campus to campus, it's really important that you start researching the colleges that you may want to apply to early so that way you can determine how big of a role SAT or ACT will play in your journey. I have an entire video breaking down the various testing policies if you need help understanding what certain terms like test optional or test blind really mean. Just like your GPA, standardized test scores highlight your academic readiness. For colleges that either require or accept test scores, the admissions committee will use your scores to make some assumptions about your strengths and your weaknesses. This is why it's super important for you to take the test seriously and create a study plan if you plan on submitting your scores. If you're not sure that your test scores are good enough for the college that you have in mind, you should check out the college profiles on Niche. There you can find the average SAT and ACT score for previous students that have been accepted, which will really help you for those test optional colleges. If you're in their average range, it may benefit you to submit test scores. If you're not quite there, your GPA alone might showcase your academic potential better. Since test optional colleges will review your score, it's super important to analyze your scores and figure out what will give you the best shot at the colleges you're eyeing. Another thing that colleges will really zero in on is your writing. And when I say writing, I'm talking about a few different things. I'm talking about your long essay, your personal statement, and even your written responses to the short answer questions that they throw at you. These components are your chance to reveal pieces of yourself that might not shine through in the rest of your application. So don't take the writing lightly. Think really carefully about what you are showing the admissions committee through your grades and your test scores, and try to look at it from a stranger's point of view. You can ask yourself things like, What information about myself are they missing? And how can I surface that information and go into more detail in the writing portion of the application? With the essay and other written statements, admissions committees aren't necessarily looking for just one thing. I've heard many admissions officers say that the essay can really encourage them to accept students based on many different things. It could be your writing flair, or it could be your unique story, or it could be some special quality or potential that they see in you that makes them want to say, "You're in." So since you never know what might win your reader over, put your heart into this essay, especially if you're eyeing those ultra competitive colleges with low acceptance rates. Remember, those colleges are seeing very similar numbers, so your essay will be one of your best chances to stand out from the crowd. If you're having trouble deciding what to write about, or you just want to kickstart with the brainstorming process, I have an entire video that focuses on crafting your college app essay. It covers everything from fun brainstorming exercises to refining your topic and formatting your essay. I highly encourage you to check out the video, as the writing components of the college app usually take students the longest time to complete. The next thing that colleges will take into account are your extracurriculars. I'm sure you've heard your parents or your teachers or your counselors tell you that getting involved in high school is important. I personally think that it's super important for several reasons outside of getting into college, but since we're talking college admissions, I can confirm that colleges really do care about your extracurriculars. Admissions committees are looking for students who are well-rounded and who will contribute to the community when they arrive to campus. In other words, colleges need to see that there's more to you than just your academic achievements. Your extracurricular activities should indicate your interest and your passions, the things that might not be apparent from just looking at your grades alone. If you are earlier in your high school journey, don't limit yourself to things that you already like. I always tell my students that high school is a time for exploration, and trying out new clubs or activities is a great way to find some new passions. There are so many different things that can count as an extracurricular. I've noticed many students lately diving into passion projects, and it's really cool to know that admissions officers can consider those projects alongside other extracurricular activities. If you don't know what a passion project is, it's just a personal mission project that really lights up a student's world. These projects can come in many shapes, like starting a club or launching a small business or diving into research or even planning a big event. The best part about a passion project is that it's all about you taking the lead, fueled by your own drive and your own excitement. Besides your passion projects, your extracurricular activities can include things like school clubs, sports, or even part-time work. If you're unsure about what will count, just chat with your school counselor. I've had so many students that included really unique things that aren't considered your typical extracurriculars, and that can totally work. Recommendation letters can be an essential part of the college admissions process. These letters, written by your teachers, coaches, counselors, they can really provide valuable insights into things like your character, your abilities, and your potential. Admissions officers, they really want to see who you are beyond your grades, and they want to hear it from the people who have been with you in your education so far. Just like your extracurricular activities, the colleges really want to see a well-rounded individual who will contribute positively to their campus community. Think of recommendation letters like a peek into your skills, your work ethic, your personality from an educator who really knows you. They're a great way to highlight your accomplishments and really demonstrate your potential for college success. Admissions officers will count on these recs to evaluate how good of a fit you are for their school. So when you're picking your recommenders, choose wisely and also make sure to thank them for their support on this important step in your academic journey. If you need help asking for a letter of rec, check out my tips and template email in my junior checklist video. The last thing I'm going to talk about might be the one that you don't even realize colleges take into account. It's called demonstrated interest, and it refers to your level of engagement with and enthusiasm for a college. You might assume that the college knows how interested you are based on the fact that you're applying or based on what you wrote in your essay, but there's much more to it than just that. Admissions committees, they really want to know that you're serious about attending their institution and that you're not just firing off another application. To determine your level of demonstrated interest, colleges and universities, they'll track actions that you have taken with their college. These actions can include things like attending a campus tour or attending an info session. They'll usually also track every time that you reach out to your admissions reps, like if you submit supplemental materials that are unique to the college, such as a supplemental essay or portfolio. By demonstrating interest in these tangible ways, you are really showing the admissions committee that you've taken the time to get to know the school and you have a really strong desire to attend their school. This can positively impact your application as it indicates a high level of motivation and fit for their institution. Remember that colleges want students who are genuinely interested in their programs and who will contribute positively to their campus community. So it's important to actively demonstrate your interest to the colleges that you plan on applying to. You can do that by attending events or reaching out to the admissions reps and showcasing your enthusiasm for the school throughout the application process. Don't be afraid to express why you're passionate about the school and how you can see yourself thriving in their community. Demonstrated interest can really set you apart from other applicants and it can show your commitment, so don't underestimate its power. Keep showing your love for your dream school and really let it shine through all aspects of your application. And most importantly, stay authentic and be yourself, because at the end of the day, that's ultimately what the colleges are looking for. College admissions shouldn't be this super secretive thing. It's really important to understand what's behind their decisions when they say yes or no. Hopefully this video helps you as you head into college app season with a better understanding of what colleges want and how you can show them that you have it. I know there's a bunch to think about and plan for, but I am confident that you will make it through. Thanks for watching, and I hope this helped.